Good day everyone, my name is Justin Hunt and I have some questions for you. Have you ever wanted to understand your dreams or be able to sleep better without the stress or interruption of daily life routines? Have you ever been curious enough to figure out what your brain looks like and what it does when you sleep? Then, my dear friends, SOMN is a great community for you to check out. The SOMN community's main mission, according to their website, is to grow a network of individuals committed to bringing an era of next-generation brain functionality into the world of sleep. In other words, they are a community of people who study how the brain works, especially in regards to sleeping or dreams. If you visit their website, www.somn-us.org, you can see the full extent of what they have to offer, even to the point of them creating a sleep retreat for anyone just wanting to have a peaceful escape where they can understand their dreams better. Or at least that's what they claim. Yes, my friends, SOMN is hiding a deep secret and is in fact not as great as it appears. That is what we are here to discuss. With me, I have some special guests who have been looking into SOMN, and they have notes and theories about what's going on, and together we hope to shed our own light on this interesting mystery. Together, we will talk about the new and exciting SOMN, ARG. We'll be going over the different sections of the website, as well as looking into two other related sites which help to bring this mystery alive, as the SOMN ARG actually has spread across multiple platforms. This includes the SOMN website, a Reddit account, and an Instagram account. As of now, these are the only places where any updates seem to have been found, but the search continues to this day for anything new and related to the SOMN ARG mystery through other websites. Bear in mind this is an ongoing ARG, and if you want to check it out yourself, I strongly recommend doing so. I'll provide a link to both the site and the Discord community, as there is now a very strong Discord community dedicated to trying to uncover the fascinating mystery. Our first stop is, of course, the homepage for SOMN. When you open the SOMN page, you're greeted with a clip of two scientists or doctors, hard to tell which, looking at something on a computer together, with the sentence, "Together we can make your dreams a reality," where the "make your dreams" section of that sentence is bigger and bolder than the previous section. Beneath that, there are 4 sections with 4 pictures respectively. The sections are divided up in this order: community on the top left, our mission on the top right, take part on the bottom left, and why SOMN on the bottom right. Each section briefly talks about what SOMN is, their mission, what us as individuals can do, and the sort of technology that goes into looking further into people's dreams and their meaning. It would seem that, at face value, SOMN is legitimately doing good things to help a thriving community in understand sleep and dreams more, and wants to assist others with studying embryology, the scientific study of dreams. However, if you compare the testimonials that are there now to what was there in the original first few days of the website, you will see something strange and very creepy. A 4th testimonial has appeared, its author currently unknown, but with glitched text at the bottom of it that reads "Expunged Security Protocol." The strange text above it is upside down, and even then it is hard to completely understand. However, if you copy the text into a document, it rearranges it into more distinguishable words, and you get the following concerning message.
If you're reading this, then I have been disposed of. You won't see me again, and if you do, I'm not who you think. I don't know who I will be after. Do not look for me. Do not look for the light. Stay away from the harbingers.
Okay then. Now we have something creepy going on, and a few questions arising just because of it. Who's talking to us? Who do we think they were? What were they disposed for? What's this light they tell us to stay away from? And finally, who are the harbingers? Well, sadly, just sitting here at the home page pondering about these questions won't answer the questions. So we'll need to look further into the site to see if we can figure out the answers to any of these questions. It's time to go to the About section of the SOMN website. Now, the About page is interesting, as it goes into further detail as to what SOMN is and what they hope to achieve. It tells us what SOMN actually stands for: the Society for Neurology and Mediated Neuroactivity. It also details what some are looking for a bit more: insight into how our minds work. It's a good amount of information with 3 blue boxes you can click at the bottom of the text, and 3 frequently asked questions below those boxes. Seems relatively legit until you notice that some of the letters in the About text section are slightly different color compared to the rest of the text. It's not evident at first, but it's definitely there. So, if you put the letters in the order they appear on the About section together in a sentence, you get the following message: we are the harbingers. Oh boy! So now we have someone speaking to us in the About section, telling us who the harbingers are. And it seems to be SOMN itself. But what exactly is this all leading to? And how does it relate to the person that got expunged? Well, we get a bit more information when we go to the SOMN Sleep Retreat section, which can be found as a pop-down option when you hover your mouse on the About section at the top of the page. The SOMN Sleep Retreat page informs viewers of the Sleep Wellness Retreat, which the site describes as a journey towards deepening your spiritual connection and exploring the hidden wisdom of your dreams. This page informs us of what the Sleep Retreat does, how it can help individuals, and the technology and methods that are available to do so. Once again, things seem relatively normal, but by now, we know something strange is going on, and sure enough, at the bottom of the page, just under the sentence "Book your escape today," is a hidden bunch of strange symbols that can only be seen if you highlight that particular area. They look like this. If you copy those symbols and paste them onto any document, you get the following message. Well, that doesn't make any sense. What's that supposed to mean? But the truth is, this is actually a type of Caesar cipher. And so if we work out the right combination in a Caesar cipher to go inside, we get the real message. Oneria awaits. So, what is Oneria? And how does it relate to the things we have found out so far? Well, thanks to some research from another ARG player and new friend, Ashley Calhoun, and I apologize if I pronounced that name wrong, we can get this quote from Wikipedia. In Greek mythology, dreams were sometimes personified as Oneros. The Oneri are the sons of Nyx, night, and brothers of Hypnos. sleep. End quote. Ashley suggests that Onira could be the feminine singular form of Nilneros. Possible, but we still are piecing things together. So now we are starting to piece together the idea that whatever Oniria is, it's possibly related to Greek mythology, and somehow has a secret society calling themselves Harbingers that are doing something behind the scenes, and obviously don't want people to know the truth, hence whatever happened to our still unknown testimonial message deliverer. But hold on, this page hasn't revealed all its secrets yet. You see, the pictures on this page all have set names, and if you inspect their elements, you can see their real names on the right-hand side of the screen. Big deal, right? Nothing too serious there. Only, some of the names are a little bit suspicious. For instance, the one at the bottom of the page is labeled as Group Backlight. However, its alternative name, the one that raises some very suspicious questions, is Group of Humans. Well, that's very unusual. I wonder if there's anything else hidden in the elements of the page. There is. Sure enough, if you scour the elements of the Sleep Retreat page, you start to gather more of the strange symbols located under each of the pictures on the site. That's right, hidden on specific areas of the pictures are more of those strange symbols. Thus, more strange letters, which means it's time to break out the Caesar cipher again. This time, we're given this very strange sentence if we put the found symbols together and work out what they stand for in our handy decoder. Keep your eye open. And on the last picture, the one labeled Group of Humans, there is a hidden image of an eye that can be uncovered as well, with the file name Purple Eye on Transprint. That's not a spelling error, by the way. That's what the file is called. Transprint. P-R-E-N-T. Transparent, perhaps? It would explain why we didn't see it the first time. So now we have more messages telling us to keep our eye open, and an image of an eye with a strange red stalk or thorn underneath it. Doesn't really tell us more about what's going on for now, so maybe we should move on to meet the team of SOMN, the four leaders of the company. We now go to the founders and executive directors page with the following message. Welcome to SOMN, an esteemed society dedicated to advance in the field of neurology and neurology. Our enthusiastic team of accomplished experts will provide you with the most innovative and up-to-date research in the industry. Really hammering in what SOMN is dedicated to now, aren't you guys? Well then, let's meet our team. There's Scott Bailey, the Executive Director/Founder, Laura Webb, the Associate Executive Director, Jared Adams, the Scientific Operations Manager and Founder, and... well, hold on, eh? That's not right. The fourth member of the team isn't there anymore. They are listed as member name, and the image appears to be that of the eye again, on a dark page full of the words expunged. Well, it seems we have found out that it was one of the actual founders themselves that left the strange testimonial we saw at the start of all this. But who are they? Well, going down a bit further, we see some images which can be zoomed in on and scanned. And one of those images is of Scott, Jared, and a woman that's had their face scrubbed out with red ink, I hope, and noticeably blood on the side of her face. So this would appear to be our expunged founder, but why was she expunged? And what exactly happened to her? Well, for the answer to that, we're going to have to go back in time a bit to the first days of this ARG's release. So, a bit of backstory. I was fortunate enough to be there in the very early days of SOMN's release, and I was actually able to talk to some of the founders of SOMN, or rather just one in particular. You see, SOMN has a community section where people can talk to each other about their experiences or ask questions to the founders if they want. And one of the things that was posted there was comments from a now expunged person. The real identity of this expunged individual? Makenzie Hale. You see, Makenzie posted 3 forum posts. One on the questions and answers section, and 2 on the general discussions section. All 3 posts start to give us a better understanding of what's going on, so I'll keep things relatively brief. Makenzie's first post was on May 24th, titled Feeling Lost in the Questions and Answers Forum.
How can you cope with knowing something you wish you didn't? I feel like I'm losing my grip. I keep standing by, but when will I be able to stand up?
Obviously, something was bothering her, but she couldn't tell anyone about it. In fact, she actually answered me in that post about the matter, saying,
If only it were that easy. We can't talk about SOMN outside of network, but almost everyone here is on board with the plan. I'm worried what would happen if I left or sought help. Not only that, but we aren't even allowed to have social media for fear of leaks. I honestly shouldn't even be writing this here.
The next time we would hear from Makenzie would be May 27th, titled, I don't think I can do this anymore, in the General Discussions Forum.
This is getting overwhelming. If you know what's going on, then you know it's supposed to be some life-altering experience. It was for me too, well at first, but we've gone too far, and I keep just idly standing by. The pressure is unbearable. I thought this was for the best, but it keeps happening over and over, more frequently now. We can't keep doing this. I have to do something.
And then the last time we would hear from Makenzie, at least currently, was again in General Discussions under the title I Don't Know on May 28th, only a day after her last message.
I honestly feel bad for them. They all just wanted to learn something new, and all they get in return is a one-way trip to fuckery. I mean, what else can you call it? You're either with them or not, and if not, you're left with less than nothing. I'm literally pleading. Don't sign up. And yes, I know you're watching. You can't even take legal action, though. There's no names or details. Get railed. I don't even care anymore.
So, Makenzie knew something was wrong with the company, and her only solace was to talk to the community by try to hold a lot of the information back. We can definitely gather that she's referring to 2 types of them in the posts, and 2 types of you by the way she writes her posts. One type is referring to us as the community when she says, if you know what's going on, then you know it's supposed to be some life-altering experience. However, she says you again, possibly referring to SOMN itself, or whoever is behind this secret conspiracy when she says, I know you're watching, you can't even take legal action. Cut back to now, current day, and her existence has basically been deleted. Some must have caught wind of what she was up to and decided to deal with her in a different way. But what exactly did they do? Well, to answer that, we're going to cut back to the present and take a trip to the Member Resources page. Oh, but hang on. We can't access that page. We don't have permissions. So, what can we do? Well, it's time to do a bit of clever hacking, if you will, by trying to log in as one of the founders of SOMN And who better to do that through than Jared Adams? For this trip, I will invite my ARG friend Sloth to speak.
Hello everyone, my name is IndomitableSloth, and a big thanks to Justin for inviting me onto the show. As he mentioned, some may believe they've eliminated all of their information leaks by offing Makenzie, but their real biggest problem has been there since day one. You see, if you go to the Teams page on the SOMN website, you'll see 5 pictures at the bottom of the page. 3 of the pictures are just stock photos, but 2 of them have characters from the ARG in them. The first picture, originally labeled Summer Employee Appreciation Party, was a picture of Jared, Makenzie, and Scott. This picture has since had Makenzie scrubbed from the photo. The second picture is a photo of Jared at his workstation, and this photo tells us a few interesting things. We can tell that Jared is a very unorganized person. He has papers and sticky notes all over his desk and behind his chair. In fact, one of these sticky notes gives us a very interesting message, one that Jared may not have intended for us to find. The leftmost sticky note on the right monitor has a string of letters and numbers that appears to spell "like the way," although all is one big word, and with A replaced with 4 and I replaced with exclamation mark. This seems to go with one of the themes of the website, this sort of the way and light motif. Using the sticky note as the password to Jared's account and Jared's email address as the username, we can actually log into Jared's account on the SOMN website. Now, a word of warning before we continue. If you choose to do this yourself, please be careful not to change anything while logged into Jared's account, out of respect for the creators and for your fellow players. Having logged into Jared's account, we can access a special area of the website that we couldn't as a guest or even as a standard member, the Member Resources tab. It's here that the website starts leaning more heavily away from the pseudoscientific and towards the occult. The Member Resources page features the same creepy eye overlaid over Makenzie's photo, as well as some occult-looking symbols and strange-sounding directories. The first 2 pages, up since day 1 of the ARG, were the Gatherings and Resources tabs. The Gatherings tab gave a list of the locations and dates for the SOMN retreats, as well as what we suspect to be the number of attendees. Much to my surprise and relief, the retreat locations, when mapped out, do not form a pentagram. The Resources tab is a comprehensive list of all the retreat attendees, although even these lists may not be entirely true. There are 3 possible descriptors for each attendee: awakened, expunged, and fugue. A few of the characters we know appear on this list, none of whom seem to come out well. Laura Webb, one of the primary employees at the company, shows up as awakened and fugue, which we believe means she is trapped in a fugue state, or induced reversible amnesia. Another character, Chase Walker, is expunged, which might mean his memories have been expunged or removed. And finally, Makenzie Hale herself appears on the list as both awakened, expunged, and fugue, something that's unique to Makenzie on the database. The final link on the Member Resources tab, Sightings, gives us a chilling hint into what might be going on with Makenzie. The Sightings tab only opened on May 29th, gives us 2 photos. The first photo is set in a forest and shows a child's hands shielding its eyes from a bright light in front of it. The second photo shows Makenzie lying to the floor and bleeding to the eyes, while a device hooked up to her head seems to be projecting the first image onto a computer. These frightening images tell us that some may have finally succeeded in their goal, whatever that might be, but what we know for certain is that it's a fatal mistake to try to get in their way.
Thank you, Sloth, and I appreciate your input there. It's great to have you here. So, we know now that the identity of the expunged version from the very first page was Makenzie Hale, and that she, at some point, decided that she had had enough of whatever sinister plan SOMN was conducting and decided to try and speak out about it on the community section of the site. Not exactly the best place for it, but since she was unable to tell the world of her plight outside of the SOMN community, perhaps there is someone else that may be able to help us. Someone who was a bit more smarter and more capable of hiding secrets related to everything going on. But who could that be? So far, we're only aware of Makenzie being the only one that seems to want to fight back, and she's expunged now. So, what can we do? It was at this point that I personally hit a bit of a brick wall. For a while, I was checking the other tabs currently available on SOMN, seeing if there were any other hidden messages or codes or even any clues as to a deeper well into the story. But for the most part, I had hit a brick wall and I was starting to lose hope. Fortunately, for me, 2 other ARG players from the SOMN Discord community were able to open up a new area for us. A Discord user by the name of Fake discovered a Reddit account by the name of Stolen Echoes that would post some very strange and cryptic content, and another Discord user by the name of Omicromian discovered the relation to SOMN. So, let's have a look at Stolen Echoes for a while and see what they have to say. When you go onto the Stolen Echoes Reddit account currently, you see 18 different posts as I'm writing this script. Note that there could be more after this releases, but there was 18 when I first started this. Since there are so many different posts, let's just go right to the bottom and work from oldest back to newest of the posts. First though, let's look at what it says on the Stolen Echoes profile tab. When you look there, you're met with this. I'm not going to try and say this out loud. It is weird. This is a hex code, I believe. When you translate it, like a good ARG player, you get the following phrase. Do not traverse the realm of their god, for they have accessed the eternal blight. Since we haven't exactly come across any mentions of gods yet, we're going to come back to this in a little while. So, hop on down to the very first post Stolen Echoes made. It appears to be an image of a man sitting in front of a sun or moon or some kind of bright light with this strange title. Once again, I am not going to try and say it out loud, but that's okay, because this is another Caesar cipher, and so when we decipher it, we get this message. And lo, he beckons. In the image itself, if you fiddle around with the contrast, you get another hidden message that reads, and through feeble attempts he appeared as one of them. Since we have 18 posts to cover, I'm not going to discuss too in length about what each post could mean. I'm going to leave that up to you guys to figure out. And if you're able to piece together more puzzle pieces, go right ahead. We're more than happy to have more people try and work out this amazing ARG mystery. So we go from bottom to top in the post. Our next post is a series of numbers in a long, strange line, and when it decodes, it reads the following. And he shall reach from the recesses to pluck the fruits of the past, his collection growing ever greater with echoes of shards and prisons. He laughs, commanding them to follow suit and harvest the next in his stead. Keeping the momentum going, our next post is another series of numbers, this time decoding to become this message. Within the realms of prisons, there is no realization of day or night. There is but searing potential. Eons of progress had played out before him. Reflections of eternities that are, and yet never were. His mind stricken with the artist's plague became abyss. His sanctum now nothing more than constant anguish. Our next post is a bit strange because for the first time, Stolen Echoes actually talks normally. Up till now, they'd just been posting strange images and codes, but in this post they say the following. I had hoped these warnings would stay hidden from their eye. I shall have to try again. Obviously, whoever Stolen Echoes is wants to try and hide these messages from someone, but whoever that someone is, they've started to catch on to something going on. The next post, titled Look to the Past for Correlations, had me stunned. I admittedly had no idea what I was supposed to do with this one, but fortunately some ARG community came to help again, by revealing that this new post was a cipher change. Although admittedly I still am not sure what that implies, we can say for certain that the phrase "he laughs," spelled correctly, is hidden in the background of the image, in the darkness, in a diagonal pattern. The next post, titled Liar's Coronet, is another coded message which apparently, when decoded, says this: "As stars are to night, as prism is to light, the realm is to his whims. Alas, he who crafts with one hand must destroy with the other. An insatiable desire for creation, spiraling until all that remains are shattered ideas waiting to be replaced." Moving on, we get a post with a picture. The post is titled His Portrayal. The picture depicts what looks like a human shadow meditating, with a very strange depiction of what looks to me, anyway, like a creepy smiling man on the ground at the feet of the meditating person. Once again, a message is hidden on the picture that reads the following: "For when he arrives, he will seem as kin." Let's keep the momentum going. Our next post, titled A Fresh Harvest, has another long strand of strange text. According to my fellow SOMN ARG solvers, this, when decoded, displays the following message: "They bear their fruit, with haste he devours, warping the realm that binds. He is engulfed in new ideas, reflections of a reality out of reach. With a fleeting sense of honor, they are bestowed with not a gift, but access to an eternity of prismatic, fractured imagination." Following this tradition of strange texts, the next post is another code we must decipher, which, when done correctly, reveals this message: "He lies in wait as they grow ever closer to his worldly appearance. They know not what has been buried within the realm of prisms. They care only for glory. He cares only for freedom. Take heed." Our next post seems to be another odd one, titled Potential. It seems to just be a picture of a very interesting hallway that leads to a white open rectangular void. At first, everyone in the community thought there were hidden messages or codes in this picture, as that seemed to be the theme of things going on. However, after much checking and scanning, we all came to the conclusion that there is nothing hidden in this picture. At least, not any secret messages or codes. However, if we look at what we've found out so far, we begin to piece together a bit of a story or lore behind the picture. This picture is the potential for those who seek the light from He who beckons. It is the realm of prisons mentioned in the previous post, meaning that if you get to this point, you have started to let him into our reality, whoever he is. So that's an interesting bit of lore there. The next post, titled He Laughs.mp3, is an audio file that, when put through an acoustic spectrum analysis, results in the following image. Definitely a creepy face for sure, buddy. Which is probably why the next post is titled Best to Evade. This post has another code to decipher, and so let's do exactly that. It reads: With promises of paradise and ecstasy, they lull us into submission, playing on fleeting desires to captivate the masses. We ingest, falling victim to their beautiful facade and gaining access to the light in which they relish. But relish we do not, for in failure we are left with but a husk of distant reflections. The next post, one called He Who Speaks, has the following image. Now, like Potential, this one does not seem to be hiding anything, at least not from what our community of ARG solvers in the SOMN Discord have been able to discover. However, if you are able to see something that we didn't in both this and the potential picture that we haven't seen, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you. My theory for this picture is that it's a very rough estimation of what this being, known currently as He Who Beckons, possibly looks like. It would fit in with what we've found out through Stolen Echoes so far. But we've still got some posts to go, and I don't want to keep focused on this for too long. The next post is the most interesting post for our ARG solving so far. As up to this point, Stolen Echoes has not actually mentioned SOMN directly, or mentioned anything solid that could relate to the company in any sort of way. But it is this post that's the most interesting by far. It's called Silenced, and seems to be a video of an r/mid asshole post created by user u/DeborHunt2306, done in a very peculiar way. The video showcases the post as red and scrolling upwards, with some small blotches of blue appearing on particular parts of Dapper's post. This is a real post you can actually find in r/mid and the post goes like this. Hey, so I gotta be honest here. This whole situation has got me feeling lost. And I don't know how to process it all. We've been happily married since 2011, met in college, and it has been pretty smooth sailing. We hardly ever have serious fights, just the usual stuff like me forgetting to take out the trash. Our routine was simple: work during the week, chill together at home, do things we enjoy like gardening or reading. About a year and a half ago, my wife, super smart neuroscientist, got really into sleep. She believed it had a deep impact on us beyond surface level. So when she found this new retreat in Tennessee, she was over the moon. It was supposed to be this whole experience that integrated technology and medicine into sleep, and was supposed to revolutionize the way humans dream. I checked out their website, and honestly it seemed like bullshit. Some interesting bits, but mostly excessive. Still, I didn't want to hold her back, so I encouraged her to go. When she came back, everything had changed. And I mean everything. First, she stopped saying, "I love you." It used to be her thing, but she just cut it off. Then she got really into meditating. At first, I thought it was just a new relaxation habit, but now she spends hours meditating every day. I can't help but wonder if she's doing it to get away from me or something. And the worst part, she started treating me like I'm nothing. Barely looks at me, ignores me when I try to talk. It's like I don't exist. I have no clue what happened at that retreat. Maybe she met someone else or had some mind-blowing experience. All I know is that things went downhill from there. I tried expressing how I felt, telling her I wanted to work it out, but nothing got through to her. I got frustrated and started yelling, which only made things worse, and then I made a huge mistake and asked if she wanted a divorce. I wish I could take that back. Maybe things would be different now, but she took me up on it, moved out immediately, and even landed a job with the retreat's parent company. Go figure. I haven't even been able to sign the divorce papers yet. That's when I went down the wrong path, I think. I blamed the retreat for everything that happened. I called them, hoping they could shed some light on what went wrong, but they refused, citing privacy concerns. So I resorted to leaving some nasty reviews, calling them out on every platform, spreading shit about them. The worst part, I got a cease and desist letter. I had to delete all my accounts. It's a mess, and I regret it all. I hate that I've lost my wife, and I'm questioning if I'm actually as terrible as I feel. Am I the asshole here? If anyone else has experienced something like this with that damn retreat, please let me know. I can't be the only one, right? I've asked around, but no one seems to know anything. Well, this is interesting. So how does this relate to SOMN exactly? Well, in the comment section of the original post on r/MIThearsehole, Dapper has left a comment with a link that takes us to SOMN's sleep retreat page. And if we go back to the team's page, we are met with one Laura Webb, who, according to the info in the news section, is a neuroscientist expert and has 15 years of experience. If we check the dates this post mentions and the date that Laura attended the sleep retreat, the dates match up. This Am I the Arsehole post is 100% referring to Laura Webb, meaning we now have a strong connection to SOMN, and everything we've seen so far has been leading up to us finding out more about whatever is going on behind the scenes. But who is Stolen Echoes? How do they know so much? And how can they be getting away with everything going on with codes and pictures on Reddit? What is truly going on at SOMN? And why is the name of the website SOMN-US.org? Well, I'm afraid that we'll have to wait for next time, as we still have much to uncover. Still have more secrets to go from Stolen Echoes. And another area of the internet to go through. For now, I will leave a link to the SOMN site in the description and ask that if you are interested in joining the ARG solving community, please let me know in the comments below. A huge thank you to Sloth and Ashley who helped with this episode, and another huge thank you to the SOMN ARG community who have been helping solve the fascinating and creepy mystery. I look forward to discovering more next time. This has been Justin Hunt, delving into the dark dreams of the SOMN ARG. See you next time, and sweet dreams, everyone. Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams.